Welcome back to Greasers and Goblins, episode 3. Last time where we left off, we found our adventures in Bara's Hamlet. So, for the recap, may I have everybody roll a Constitution saving throw?
Oh god, I had everything else ready except my dice. I'm so sorry. Anyway,
I just got a natural
we
20.
went
There
over
goes my
this.
luck.
I know.
Oh no.
My luck is gone.
Do we all remember the circle system from last time?
We're starting with
Yes.
Alex,
Alex
by the
today,
way.
yeah.
Okay. Oh god, you're starting with me and I'm not even
Yeah.
close to ready. God damn. Anyway,
That's fine.
D20, yeet. Okay. I'm ready whenever y'all are.
Alex, would you roll?
Start us off.
It's just a Constitution check, right?
Yeah, Constitution check.
13.
Saving throw 13. All right. Hunter.
Natural 20 for 22.
Oh,
Ooh.
is he safe? Gabby
15.
and Sam.
I got a 9.
All right, give me that sweet recap, Sybil.
Oh boy.
In character.
Oh no. Okay.
In character.
In character, of course.
My
So
worst
first
fear.
of all, sex. Anyway.
Was last of all.
Well, it depends on how much it matters to Sybil. Anyway.
Anyway, we died. That's how we started. So yeah, I found my body in the woods, in the car, in the van. We're all dead. Then some freaky magic voodoo man came out of the woods, offering me a deal to bring us back to life, basically, in exchange for what I think he's pimping us out, but he says is for his entertainment. I don't know. Anyways, we all wake up in strange new forms, and we meet Teacup, a little rabbit, talking rabbit, with a mason jar of liquid that they have to get back to the master. We follow them through the woods. We eventually got attacked by these frog folk. I discovered I have magic. Chastity discovers she has magic. Same with Christian. Damien just kills stuff. Same with Alan. And basically after the fight, we got to a little town and we stopped by the inn and we went to bed for that night.
Okay. Wonderful. So, and now before we have our little reveal of everybody, I just want to ask, Damien, how are you feeling?
How am I feeling right now? I mean, Sybil was a little weird. But I mean, like, she's always kind of a little weird, so it's not that unusual. But I mean, new body, new leg, feeling good, got it off, all the fun stuff.
Okay. Alan.
Hi.
Can you believe what just happened? Tell me your thoughts.
Well, I don't know for sure how we ended up in this place and how we all changed. Everyone seems to be having some mixed thoughts about all of this. Everyone has different ways of viewing this situation. And all I really want to know is how we got here and what's really going on. And I hope everyone else, to some extent, feels the same.
Okay. Chastity,
Mm-hmm.
you can yell really, really loud. How does it feel to finally be heard?
It's frightening and new and sometimes confusing. And I have a lot of conflicting feelings about who I appear to be now and how things are in this new place. And as much as I feel like I just want to go home and I want to get things back to normal and I don't want all these terrible things to be happening anymore, part of me doesn't completely hate it.
Okay. Sybil,
Yes, ma'am.
you just hooked up with a lion man. What are your thoughts on that?
You don't want to know my thoughts on that. I don't kiss and tell.
Seems very valid.
Good answer.
Very mindful.
Okay.
Very
Very,
demure.
Very demure.
So, with that, we now find ourselves on this fantastical journey in an unknown world, in unknown bodies for the most part. Why don't we take a look at where we're at now and what everyone's looking like?
Who's ready?
I'm so ready.
Woo!
All right. Allow me to introduce the fantasy crew.
And Sybil once again on the drawing.
And Sybil is back to being a sketch.
Oh,
It's a true
man.
form all along.
Oh my god, dude. Leo. Or did I say Leo? Damien turned out so good.
That was very Leo of you.
Damien turned out so good. That was so Leo of you. That was so mindful and demure. Oh,
Not
my-
mindful, not demure.
Oh, jeez. Oh my god. They. And
Can I just
Christian.
say, all of you look amazing, but why am I attracted to Alan?
I'm very attracted to Alan.
Oh
Okay.
no, is he
in the
the
straightest
pretty
way
boy?
possible.
Is he that
He's
pretty
so
boy?
pretty.
So here's the thing with Alan. So I don't know if the rest of you know this. Sydney knows that I've been watching Voltron this summer, and why does
Yes.
Alan look like fucking Loot?
He does. Oh, he does.
Wait. I am seeing that now. He does look like him.
I have no
It
idea
was
who
more
that is, so
hot,
I
so it's
can't
okay.
agree. I'd have to look
Oh
up
my
a
god,
picture.
Chastity is so hot.
Thank you.
Oh,
She
God,
feels
yeah.
weird about it.
The little belt buckle on that strap. Who boy? Who mama?
Thank you. Oh my god, thank you. That was my suggestion.
Just a garter that's holding nothing up. It's just
Yep.
there.
It's just there to make a little bit of divine space or whatever it is they call it in Japan.
Also, another quick thing that I added for tonight, because I don't think Sydney has mentioned this yet, but Kevin is not with us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Damn.
Oh my god, stop, that's so funny.
it just looks
Abs-
dead.
Hunter, that's hilarious.
it's very funny. The way that it popped up reminds me of Ace Attorney.
Wasted.
Like
Objection!
Oh,
objection!
Absent!
Absent!
shit.
Well, I figured this would be good for just so everyone knows that one of us is not at the table, so to speak, for this evening.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love it. Oh my god.
It's so
Very smart,
But
thank you.
I wanted to make sure everyone got to see Christian's art. Well, real quick, one more look at Christian before he's covered by annoying text. He actually looks pretty good.
He has
He
no
does.
bags
God.
under his eyes.
He's
So
he's
good.
I gave
finally
him
got
slight.
sleep.
It's
Does look
so
really
good.
I think everybody looks amazing.
And thank you,
Everybody
Sam,
looks
just
so
for casually
cool.
giving Christian a slutty little man waist now. We love that.
Thank
Oh,
you.
he do got a
Christian is
slutty
like,
little
I'm
man
like, look at him.
waist.
He's got a little slutty little man waist. He's like, oh my god, I love Christian so much.
Why is Alan so built? He's gonna make me sin anyway.
Oh
You know,
god.
you know, DMs, GMs and DMs, they're not supposed to have a favorite. Anyway. So, now that we have the new crew and hopefully Sybil very soon,
Of course.
poor Sam putting everyone else before herself.
She's so brave. She's my favorite soldier.
Snaps for Sam.
Snaps for Sam.
Oh, I heard snacks.
Snacks.
Get her some hot Cheetos right the fuck now.
Give her some snacks.
Okay. So, I'm very food motivated. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So, you guys wake up in Bars Hamlet in this little inn run by Miss Melly, the Minotaur lady. Chastity, you are the first one to rise with Teacup like curled up in your arms like a little stuffed animal. And Teacup is snuggling the jar of glowing blue liquid.
Well, Chastity wakes up, opens her eyes, and I think the first thing she does is she pulls one of her hands in front of her face and sees that she's still red. And so she thinks about it, and it dawns on her that this is not a dream, as we are awake. And realizes if it is in fact not a dream, that means we're gonna have to survive. So, time to get up and get going. So she's gonna gently shake Teacup awake. Teacup, wake up. Morning.
Good morning.
Ain't
He's
that a
dying.
mood?
Jesus.
Teacup, you doing okay there, bud?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm just having a bad dream.
Oh, what was it?
The big scary lion man was eating me.
Oh. Well, don't you
It
worry.
wasn't a
Teacup.
dream.
He's not going to do anything to hurt you so long as I'm around. I promise.
Thanks.
Alrighty, Teacup, it's time to get up and go wake up the others. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alrighty, and so as she figured last time, because she's kind of nervous about going to Damien and Sybil's room based on what happened, she's going to walk over to Christian and Alan's room and knock on the door.
Got it. So, go ahead. You knock on the door.
Knocking. Christian, Alan, time to get up.
Alan, would you say that you are a light sleeper or a heavier sleeper?
Light.
Light? Okay. Then probably with ease, you hear the rapping coming on the door. And Chastity's voice on the other side.
Okay. He gets up from the bed and he will crack the door open.
Chastity standing on the other side, you see Alan with his messy bed head not yet quite ready, or in its normal ponytail just yet. Open up the door to their room.
Morning, Alan. You and Christian ready to go?
It won't take me too long to get ready. Only a couple minutes.
Okay, good. Is Christian awake yet?
DM, is
Alan.
Christian awake yet?
Alan, you turn around to see Christian's bed, empty.
He looks back and sees it, then he turns back around to Chastity and he says, I don't know where Christian is.
What do you mean you don't know where Christian is?
He opens up the door wider and he just gestures to the bed.
Chastity's gonna like step inside and look around and see. Can she like check to see if Christian like took any of his stuff or if anything looks weird?
So his things, like the small little pack that he had with him, is not there, and a note is neatly folded on the bed.
Can she go read that note?
You may. So you walk on over to the bed and you open it up, and in his handwriting, you do read, "Went out to check on something. I'll catch up with you guys." And then there's a little sketch of him with like a little pack over his shoulder, walking. It's like a quick little doodle.
All right, Chastity's gonna hold the note, fold it up, stick it back in her belt where she's been keeping stuff, and sigh a little bit and go, "Ah, freaking Christian." Okay. Turns back to Alan and tells him what was in the note.
Well, knowing him, I'm sure he'll be fine. He seems like he's done pretty well on his own.
Yep, everybody's favorite loner. But since Christian's not here, it was going to be his job to go wake up Sybil and Damien. So that's on you, pal. Get going.
Okay. And he just walks out the door towards the room.
Alan, you approach the room that you saw Damien and Sybil go to occupy. To the two of you, does Alan hear anything suspicious this morning?
Now, I'm of the mind that Damien is a heavy sleeper, like the dead. So it's up
Yeah.
to if Sybil is able to wake up, or if she is just like him.
No, it's just she's a bit light sleeper too.
Well,
Okay.
it's up to her if she wants to wake up the big lion man.
So, Alan, you knock at the door?
Yeah, he gives like a light 2 taps at first, and he waits.
Okay. Sybil, you hear the taps on the door. Do you want to get up or
She probably like lays in bed, like she's awake. She probably lays in bed though, like thinking back for that conversation last night.
Mhm.
I want to say she hears the knocks, but she just ignores that. She's too busy thinking about that.
If a couple, like, if a little bit passes without him hearing anything, he'll do 2 taps again.
Okay. Deep in your thought, you hear the knock. Damien takes a deep snore beside you. You see the lion teeth as you look over at him.
Probably like sprawled out on his stomach, one arm over Sybil, one hanging off the bed, like
Uh-huh. Big kitty.
yeah.
Yeah, after a while she'll get up and she's not
Head
wearing
to the
much.
door?
She's not wearing much. She's wearing a robe at least though, so
Alan's on like, so he's like doing these taps, but he's like on the side of the door that's like not the hinges side. He's like against the wall with his like back against the wall as he's like not looking at the door.
Smart. So the door opens. Sybil, you poke your head out and you see Alan like leaning against the door, kind of like purposely trying to not look.
can I help you?
I think it's time for us to keep moving.
Right.
Also,
Right.
Seems like Christian went off on his own.
What do you mean went off on his own?
He wasn't in his bed when I woke up. He left a note for us, though. Said he was checking on things.
What things?
He shrugs.
Damn bastard. She like goes back into the room and slams the door.
Oh, what a brat.
And then at the door slam, Alan will return to his own
Ugh.
room.
I think that's the door slam is what finally gets Damien
Oh
up.
yeah.
Okay.
Christian does
Morning.
look like a Syrian.
So
Morning, Sleeping Beauty.
How'd you sleep?
I mean,
You
as
know,
much
what
as I got.
little we did.
Yeah. Just about to say that.
You look all right. I don't think I really got used to the claws.
No. She like looks at her scales on her skin. I think my skin's tough enough to handle it.
That's good. All right. Well, just like tosses off the sheet. Time to put on pants.
She makes no movement of looking away.
He has no issue whatsoever. He gives her a little wink.
Chastity wants us downstairs. Apparently, Christian ran away.
Ran away.
Ran away. Man, that's a. Hey, I know he's a character, but like, yeah, that's a smart choice. Yeah, just run away in the weird place. We totally fully understand.
Damien, the more that you think about it and like ramble out loud, it doesn't seem like him.
It doesn't. I think he knows that. He's just playing it off.
Mm. So, Alan, when you arrive back to your room, do we still find Chastity there? Did she head downstairs? What are the two of you up to?
Chastity and Teacup waited in Alan and Christian's room for a report on Sybil and Damien.
Got it. So, Alan, when you arrive back, you do see Teacup sitting in Chastity's lap.
So when he walks in, he says, well, at least Sybil's awake. I also told her about Christian.
She have anything to say on the matter?
Nothing nice.
Ah, typical.
But at least I'm gonna assume everyone knows to get up and be ready now.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Alan. And then Chastity's gonna turn her attention to Teacup and say, Teacup, does Melly serve food here?
Yes.
Does she
Yes.
serve it downstairs?
Downstairs. There are tables.
Do you want to head down and get breakfast?
Oh boy, do I.
Alrighty, so Chastity's gonna get up with Teacup and suggest to Alan that they go downstairs.
I'll be ready shortly, and I'll meet you down there.
Alright, see you in a few.
So, really quick. Chastity, when you do head downstairs with Teacup, you do in fact notice what you didn't notice last night, probably from the long and crazy day of becoming a completely different person, and you you find yourself sorry, my dog keeps bringing me her toy, and it's very cute, but also a little distracting. I'm sorry. So,
Elgus.
so you find that the downstairs interior is a lot larger than it seemed last night. When you arrived, the sun was setting and candles really lit most of the interior. But now, with the sun pouring through the windows, you do see that there are a handful of tables scattered about. And behind the welcome counter where you met Melly is a window that looks like it peeks into a kitchen, kind of diner style.
So Chastity's gonna take Teacup to go sit down at one of the tables. And then she asks Teacup, what do we do? Who do we talk to? What's the deal?
You're asking that to Teacup, or you're asking that to Melly?
I was asking that to Teacup.
Okay, so Teacup says, well, Melly can help us get some food. I say we should see Captain Barra one more time before we go, but first we eat. And Teacup kind of walks over up to Melly. Teacup has fastened the jar on top of its head with, like, you see, like, a little brown belt. And Teacup puts one gold coin up on the counter. And Teacup says, "Excuse me, I would like to order 2 breakfast." And Melly, who was, like, turned around, facing the window, looks like she was talking to another person behind there. Turns around and says, "Good morning."
So Chastity's gonna follow Teacup and kind of get there just as Melly is saying good morning. And she says good morning back to her.
How was everything last night? Were the accommodations okay?
Everything was great. Thank you so much for letting us stay.
Of course. So it looks like you guys would like a couple of our breakfast samplers?
That would be great. Thank you.
Of course. And then you hear a yell back, 2 breakfast plates. And they're coming up. She says, "I'll bring them over to you if you guys just want to go grab a seat at one of the tables."
Thank you so much. We'd really appreciate it. And Chastity starts back, presumably with Teacup to the table.
Yes. All right. While you two chat away, I want to swing back over to Alan. Alan, how are you getting ready? What are you doing?
Just getting himself dressed in his normal clothes. He's got his hair tied back in his usual style.
Okay.
Make sure he's got all of his stuff together. Make sure nothing else is missing.
Did you? Sorry, go ahead.
And then he would just meet with Chastity downstairs and Teacup.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
It doesn't
Sybil?
take him that long.
Good. So you meet them down there, and then swinging over to Damien and Sybil. How are you two getting ready this morning?
Begrudgingly.
Is there like a mirror in the room?
Yeah, I would say there's like a small like vanity where there's like one of those rounded mirrors for people to do like their hair and stuff.
I'll just say, in the midst of getting ready, she like definitely tastes like she just like stares into the mirror and like studies like her new appearance, like all the scales are covering her face, like the horns coming from her head now.
Mm-hmm.
Damien's snout peers over her shoulder a little bit as he kind of like runs the claws and hands through the mane. You think they got hair gel in this weird, stupid dream world?
Probably. I mean, this blonde job is the best. They do a better dye job than whatever salon I've been on back home.
I'm not used to all this hair, but now it's everywhere, so not much a choice in the matter. Anyway, just kind of like tightens the belt a bit. Alrighty, let's get some damn food.
Alrighty, sorry, I am staring at the portraits. They're so good.
In trance.
I am. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, she really made Alan look so fine.
Oh my god.
I'm simping.
Alan does look pretty fine.
Is this where the
Alan looks
the
pretty damn
players
fine.
themselves all start simping for Alan?
It's
Yeah.
It's hilarious you said that because I did that like a few hours before I had to go to work.
That's
And
so
like I was like
funny.
rushing to get it done. I was like, this looks terrible. I hate this. But like I went with it anyway.
Well, now he
And
It's
now we're all
everybody's favorite. No,
now
we all can't stop talking about it.
everybody likes looking at him. He became a pretty boy.
He's so
Sam,
pretty.
you have made a pretty boy.
So pretty. That pose. Ugh.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Okay. I get it. We're all gay.
It's
Right.
8 a.m. People, get it together.
It's 8 a.m. Do you know where your children are? Anyways.
So, eventually, after checking yourselves out in the mirror, you guys do head downstairs where you see Teacup and Chastity partaking in breakfast. Did Alan get some breakfast?
He did.
Okay. So you see the three of them eating their breakfast. What do you guys what kind of conversation does Damien and Sybil come up on with the two of you at the table?
I think we're probably talking about the plans for today. So stopping by Captain Bara, getting back on our way, anything we need to know.
Okay. So, Damien and Sybil, you approach the table, take your seats, and that's just like what Chastity was saying. You overhear the conversation of next steps. Would you like to chime in?
Hope we didn't keep you up last night. Big stretch.
Oh, don't worry. We slept just fine.
Where do you order?
Just go up to Melly at the counter and you're going to need some of the money from yesterday, okay?
Melly. He does not go over, he just calls.
She
Sybil,
just stares
punches.
at. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, Sybil just like punches his arm, like go up to the counter.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, Melly stares at you from where she's standing.
Make his way over.
Good morning. How can I help you, sir?
Good morning. I'll take eggs, bacon, thick cut bread, and beer. That would be lovely.
One breakfast plate and a coffee, she yells back through the window.
Mm-hmm.
She holds her
Sorry, I
hand
love
out.
Melly's response.
She holds her hand out to you.
So we only have gold, I'm assuming?
Correct.
I think he just gives it a high five and starts to walk away.
Scratch that, no plate.
Oop.
And I'll flick a stupid coin her way.
She catches it midair. Thank you for your patronage.
Mm.
So, while you guys are chatting, you're kind of taking more of that time to really soak in the decor. It is like it's not quite an inn, but it is bigger than a bed and breakfast would be. You see where the stairs go up. You know there's at least a few rooms for some of you. There were other rooms, but due to the vacancy she told you about last time, you assume that they might be taken. And you do see a number of nicely decorated tables. There are a couple of candle chandeliers, and you see on one of the back walls is a very nice stone fireplace. And in very typical D&D fashion, you do see this really big, beautiful, like, war axe hanging above the fireplace. And then you see kind of like other paintings, letters that look like they've been framed. Looks like decor and pieces that she might have just found and picked up throughout her time. What would you guys like to do with the rest of your morning before you hit the road?
When Chastity's done with her breakfast, can she go up and read some of the letters?
Yes. So, if you go around and you check up on the letter, one of them looks like it's an official thank you from like a mayor of a big city. You see like an official like city stamp. You actually see the envelope with an official wax seal, and the letter is basically a thank you to a group of adventurers for helping with a conflict and a particular danger that was being inflicted upon that city. Another letter is from it looks like a couple of families from smaller villages, thanking them personally for helping them with their crops and their livestock, for making sure their children were safe. Another big one looks like it's from a queen. Says, thank you for being the protectors of our city. With your group retiring, we hope that someone else with your valor will fill your place. You will be missed, Captain Bara and friends.
So, reading all this, Chastity gets curious and she walks over to Melly's desk to strike up a conversation.
Okay. She says, morning, what can I do for you?
Morning. I was just admiring your beautiful decor and particularly those really touching letters. Were they from your past?
Yeah. You usually, not many patrons care too much to look at them. But I love looking at them every day. Yeah, they are.
Were you like an adventurer before you ran the inn?
I was. I actually ran with Bara and a couple other of the townsfolk.
Oh wow. You guys must have traveled a lot.
Oh yeah, quite a bit, all over actually. Eventually, one day it was time to settle down, but we couldn't quite get rid of each other. So we decided to build our homes near each other, and little bit of ways from the big cities, but close enough in case anyone ever needs help.
It's really nice. We're kind of new around these parts, and Teacup is taking us a couple ways away to go see their master, but would you mind telling us a little bit about the neighboring towns and cities around here, especially anything we might need to be aware of?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now you're in Bars Hamlet. You just came from the Phaedra Forest, it looks like. The Phaedra Forest, it's a weird one. It it kind of connects to the wilds of the Fey realm. If you're unlucky enough to stumble upon one of their portals. Not far from here, about a day's ride or so, not even, you'll reach Honey Bear Farms. That's ran by Miss Honey. She's been working there for quite some time, after she inherited it from her family and her grandparents. She comes down this way every now and then, but she usually goes over to Loreheart City. Loreheart is probably going to be the first city that you hit if you continue in this direction. Uh, let's see, there's quite a few shopping areas, a couple of temples. There's college there for bards.
Would you say
Uh,
that? Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Would you say that Loreheart City is a relatively safe place?
Yeah. It's one of the nicer ones. It's not the capital. The capital's really big. You might find some crime here and there. You know, it's inevitable. But Loreheart, they're pretty good. They take care of their own over there.
And do you happen to know any other innkeepers around who might be good to seek out?
Let's see. In Loreheart, she scratches her chin for a second. I would stick for the inns, nothing in particular with establishment wise, but I would stick to the center of the city, closer to the college. I know it might be a little bit more pricier because you're in the heart of it, but sticking near the college is a smart idea.
Okay. And speaking of things being pricey, do you know any decent ways for a group of people like us to maybe make some money around here? Any odd jobs that could be picked up somewhere along the way?
Well, you inadvertently did us a huge favor by killing those grung. Um, that gold should hopefully last you a couple of days until you get to Loreheart. Around here, you're not going to find too much. When you head over to Honey Bear Farms, she might need some help. She might be feeling generous enough to throw some coin your way if she needs assistance. And you might find a job board in Loreheart City. Usually they like to post that for students, to kind of go out and make some money and get some experience. All bards in training over there. So you might be able to find some posters.
All right, thank you. And I have one question, but it might sound a little stupid.
No stupid questions, darling. What's up?
You said there's a college for bards in the city. What is that?
Uh, folk who have an inkling of magic, but lean towards the more musical and artsy side of life. And not really my thing, but we had one of those.
Do a lot of people use magic around here?
It's a hit or miss. A lot of people want to learn. Some people use it for their daily life, but really strong casters are a bit rare. These days, at least.
Okay. Thanks so much,
And,
Melly.
one more thing.
Yes.
If you or anyone in your group is inclined towards magic, definitely keep Teacup by your side. Their master is the head wizard of this country's capital.
The head wizard, really?
Advisor to the crown.
Wow. Teacup couldn't even tell us their master's name.
It's a protection spell he has on his, I wouldn't say familiars. Teacup's not a familiar.
Oh,
Helpers. Helpers. That's a nicer word.
well, thank you for all your help and all your advice.
You guys have safe travels, and if you ever need a safe place to stay, you can always come back here.
Thanks so much, Melly. And Chastity's gonna head back over to the table.
I think with Chastity stepping away, Damien would like put an arm on the bar, lean a little closer to Teacup. Have any nice dreams, Teacup?
Yeah.
Had a real good one. White pelt thing. Didn't really get a good look at it. My jaw. Feel the warm blood running down my throat. Something about it felt just right.
Oh, that's good to hear. Nice.
I wonder what that would be like. And he kind of like licks his plate clean.
I wonder too. I like to eat veggies, though.
Puts the plate down, and then I think he'd probably head back to that same area where Chastity was looking at the letter, but all his attention is focused on that axe.
Okay.
He takes his finger and takes like the dull side, like the curved side of the claw, and just runs it along the handle and then up around the blade.
Yeah. So this axe is really nice. It has this fine leather wrapping around the handle that looks worn. Up along the staff, the actual handle that holds the blade, you see like this amber looking crystal like swirled around it. And then on the blade itself, very carved out roughly, you see the name Melly on the blade.
Nice piece.
Thanks.
Seen a lot of fighting.
Plenty.
Still got a
Still
fighting spirit.
Still does. And it still sees action when I want it to. She narrows her eyes at you.
You want it to? Like now?
Oh, you'd be signing your death wish, darling.
So Chastity's gonna sense the tension here before she sits back down. And I think she's going to like run over to Damien and kind of put a hand on his bicep and be like, Damien, can we have a word at the table, please?
It's okay, sweetheart. I know how those young boys can get. You come back in a year or two and maybe we will have that fight. How's that sound?
Take you up on that one. If I'm even here anymore. Alright. And he'll march his way on over back to the table. Yeah.
Oh, you're making friends.
So Chastity, when she gets there, is going to fill everybody in on all the information that Melly gave her. And then particularly stressing at the end. And Melly told me that Teacup's master, the person we're actually going to see, is in fact the head wizard of the capital and advisor to the crown. So I think it's a good idea for us to go see him if we want any hope of getting home. And also an even better idea, and here she very sharply turns her eyes on Damien, if we don't cause the wizard or their helpers, and looks at Teacup and looks back to Damien, any trouble.
Damn. I was looking forward to a new chew toy.
Why would you want to go back
You've
to
never
wherever
had.
you came
Have
from?
you had chew toys before, Damien?
They're called sex partners, Alan.
Okay.
Gross.
Slaps the back of your head.
That was deserved.
He just like the head moves a little bit, but it moves right back. He's like pretty much unfazed.
So
All
where
right,
did
when
you
we get
guys
out of
come
this
from?
dump.
Teacup, what'd you say?
So where did you guys come from? Why would you want to go back?
Well, where we're from, it's a lot less interesting than here, and I guess really we need to get back to our families and our lives and everything that we came from.
Mm.
It's home.
Can't you just tell them you'll be back soon?
If we knew
Well-
how, then I'm sure we would. But we don't know how.
Yeah, we don't have any way of communicating with them.
Oh. Yeah, that's sad. I'd be sad if I couldn't speak to my master.
Yeah. Then speaking of your master, Teacup, should we get going?
Oh. Okay. So, the rest of you guys finish up your breakfast, and
I
Teacup.
think. Oh, sorry. You go.
No, go ahead. What's up?
Probably just before like they get to the cart. Damien says, "Alan, a word," and then he puts a mitt back on like the cloak, like the back of Alan's neck, and just tugs him around the back of the building.
Ooh.
Damn.
Oh.
Chew toy.
Oh.
Please no. It's not this kind of campaign, is it?
Alan is getting kissed right now. No, not really.
Uh-oh. Alan's
So I think,
pretty boy mug has gotten to the characters as well.
His pretty boy mug will put you in trouble, Hunter.
Oh god.
So once he's there, drags Alan out and just kind of like puts his back hard against the wood. Keeps one grip on the cloak in the front. All right. I know what I said before. That this all seems like a dream. That this all seems like a bunch of bullshit. Something weird happened last night.
And that weird thing is
It almost like Sybil was talking to someone who wasn't there. And I looked, like I'm like, oh, maybe, pervert. Maybe that's what's going on. But no one was in the room, just us. And after she had a few words with whoever the hell this person was, or what, it was like she was on puppet strings. I don't know how else to describe it. Like she wanted to do something, but she couldn't. Like someone was stopping her. And now Christian's gone with a little note and the sketch. And, well, frankly, Alan, I hate that I have to do this, but I don't notice things as well as you do.
and what do
You
you
just
mean
keep
by
an
that?
eye out. You pick up on things better, I know it. I mean, I thought I was good at it because, you have to when you're on the field, but when I was in a real shit place, you were the person who came up to me. And I may have a weird fucking way of showing it, but that meant something.
Well, I would have hate to leave you there while you were struggling. It's not really a part of who I am.
Yeah. And so like I said, my eyes aren't the best, my ears aren't the best. You've got bigger ears now, so you should be even better at this. Just keep them focused, keep them trained, and if you notice something weird, maybe just tell me on the side and see what the hell's going on here.
And I can try my best, but we are in a new place, and this is all new to us. We don't really know much of what's happening. So I
We don't
can
know shit.
I can try my
really.
best to see if there's anyone there, but if it's someone that we can't see, then I'm worried about what it is that Sybil might be talking to, aside from it just being a hallucination of or imagination.
Maybe. I mean, more just if you notice that she does something weird, or I don't know, if Chastity starts doing something weird, or if I start doing something weird, I don't know, just
Well, as it is, I think we've all done something a little weird at this point. Our appearances are the first weird thing.
yeah.
But like I was saying, this all feels too real for it to be just a dream. I'm not sure if you're entirely convinced yet, but I have a bad feeling.
I was hoping that when I woke up I'd be back. And well, here we are.
The best thing we can do. We have to try to find out whatever we can, and hopefully find an answer that leads us back home.
You really want to go home?
You don't?
I don't know.
I know you'd be leaving behind some terrible things you've already been through, but you'd also be leaving behind things that are important to you. Right?
I'm gonna let you know that if you say the wrong thing, I will hit you in the fucking mouth.
Well, I haven't said much up to this point now.
Cam and I we were seeing each other for a while. And while I was seeing Stacy at the same time. But that's not important. The real thing is that I don't know what happened. Cam said that I said some stupid shit, and that's what got him to leave. But the thing that I liked about Cam is that he was reasonable and he was grounded and he didn't take big, stupid, dumb risk like I do all the time. He took a big, stupid, dumb risk to try and be with me, and it just, I don't know, it didn't feel like him. It didn't feel right. It felt wrong, and then had a whole standoff with his dad, and I totally hit him hard. That was when Christian and his dad and that cop got involved.
I saw that happen
Yeah,
right
I
after the
figured.
graduation. And I didn't know what was between you. I am so sorry. My dog
That
decided to
was
howl.
so funny.
That's so. That was
Ow,
so
too, buddy.
Um,
Uh,
I wasn't sure if you were just close friends with Cameron,
oh, they were
but
close, all right.
but after what you had did, that confrontation you had, I had a feeling that he was important to you. That much I could discern. Which is why I was asking you if you really didn't want to go back home.
I don't know if I'm gonna know. I don't know if even if we have a solid answer or some kind of weird portal or wormhole or whatever you all talk about is right in front of it. I don't know if I want to jump right through. And what's Alan's passive perception?
What's his passive perception? What is it? 10 plus the perception bonus?
Mm-hmm.
It's 15.
I think you notice his hands are shaking a bit.
He pauses, but then he does speak again. Says, well, at least what I know right now, seems like whoever this master is that Teacup talks about is our best lead into figuring out if we can go back to where we came from. And it's some time to travel there, so if you are unsure right now, you have time to think. But we also have to remember, like I said, we're not sure what is happening here or what we're dealing with. So it's best we try to stay on the more careful side.
Right.
Try not to be too reckless.
Mm. No promises. I think he kind of gives him a more friendly slug in the shoulder before heading back around the building.
So, while this conversation is going down, Chastity, Sybil, being with Teacup in tow. Sorry for my little stutter. Chastity and Sybil with Teacup in tow. You guys make your way to the little shed. It's not quite a shed. It looks like a shed, but it's kind of like the guard post where you first met Bara yesterday. You do kind of see that Damien pulls Alan aside, and Chastity, at this point, you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
So, the three of you go to Bara's little spot, and Teacup knocks on the wall. Mr. Bara, we're here for the goods. And you hear, "Oh, I'm coming," and the creak of like a rocking chair, and the door opens. He says, "Oh, good morning. How can I help?"
Morning, Captain. We're going to be heading out soon, and we were wondering if we could get our cart out of parking.
"Ah, yeah, yes. I loaded it up for you. Follow me."
Perfect, thank you.
And he takes you guys to the stables. And as you guys are walking, he says, "I had one of my boys help me. We've been working on it all night for you."
And Chastity kind of cocks her head to the side and goes, "Working on it?"
Yes.
Damn what?
So we noticed one of the wheels was a little loose. So we wanted to tighten that up for you. And we noticed you guys didn't really have a cover, which isn't going to be helpful when you have some weather you're dealing with. And we stocked it up with a couple of rations, and looks like you guys don't really have any equipment. So I noticed. I have no clue how you got rid of those grung. I did see some of you had some really old looking weapons. So we got you some fresh artillery.
Chastity kind of stutters a little bit because she's like very shocked at the kindness. Oh, wow, thank you. That's so generous. And she starts like looking around in the wagon and looking to see what she can find.
Yes. So, as you guys pull up to where like the stables are, you first of all on the exterior, not just your wheel was not just tightened. All four of your wheels were replaced.
Wow.
And the cart, which was bare and like open to the weather, now has one of those like white tarp draperies. very perfectly built and wrapped over these like metal poles. And even the driver's seat, they built like kind of like a little hood for the driver and whoever sits next to the driver to kind of like sit under. And then inside the little spot where the trunk would have been is basically like a built-in a literal trunk, like not like a car trunk, but a literal trunk that also acts as a bench. So when you lift up the bench top, there's storage underneath. And you see short swords in their sheaths, you see daggers, you see a really big hammer, and the hammer he picks up and he says, "This seemed like the lion's style. So figured I'd give it to you." And he puts it back down.
Wow. Thank you, Captain.
Oh, and I got this made up. It, I'm not the best with magic. I'm more of a divine fella. But this seems up your alley. And he lifts the bench. That all of the benches were turned into storage area. And he lifts up another bench, and he pulls out this long, beautiful wooden staff. And he says, "I noticed you got a little amulet thing around your neck. You mind if I take it?"
Oh, my pendulum?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, sure. And Chastity takes the pendulum and she hands it to Catherine Barra.
Thank you kindly. And he starts to fiddle with it, and he takes the pendulum so it wraps and secures itself inside like this casing almost, but it not quite a casing. The way the staff looks, it's kind of like these branches twist and turn, and he hangs it up so that the amethyst pendulum dangles in between this little space. And he hands it back to you. And he says, "You could use this as a spell focus."
Chastity takes it with both hands and she's admiring it and she's a little bit speechless and she goes, "Wow, it's amazing. I don't know what to say, and more embarrassingly, I'm not sure what you mean."
That's okay. Well, my computer's okay. That's okay. I'm sure you'll learn. Uh, you'll find someone who could teach you about that kind of stuff. Like I said, I don't think I'm the best. Uh, but you know, when just because I heard you yelling at that lion folk gentleman, it seems like you are inclined to some sort of a magical background, whether you are aware of it yet or not. This kind of helps you focus and channel that energy so you can cast those spells with ease instead of it being all willy-nilly and wild.
Chastity thinks back to the battle with the grung and how she accidentally was shooting like fire with the crystal and how it didn't make sense at the time, but the realization sort of dawns on her now and she goes, "Oh, okay. Thank you. This is wonderful. How could we ever repay you?"
Honestly, you killed those Grum. So consider this a personal thank you and not just the wanted poster thank you. Those grung, they were taking our livestock and they were stealing our produce, and we were worried about our kiddos going hungry. So now that they're gone, we have a little less to worry about. Now, I know normally we can handle some grung, but look at us. We're a little older. We left that life a long time ago, And those grung, they can be slippery bastards. So you did us a solid.
Well, thank you. And if there's anything you ever need, we'll do our best to help.
Just don't forget Bara's Hamlet. You remember to come back one day.
I'm sure we won't forget, especially if Teacup has anything to say about it.
I want more breakfast.
You can't
Well,
afford
I
more
think we-
breakfast.
Okay. So, with a cart full of your supplies, I can now confidently tell you guys when I told you to not worry about your starter equipment, this is how you got your starter equipment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So anything
Let's go.
so yes, so anything that you put on your starter equipment on your character sheet for to begin, that you can now find in your cart, and anything else you can also gather while you're here in Bara's Hamlet.
So I'm assuming that's
Uh,
going to be everything except the gold.
well, the gold you for the most part
Okay.
earned the first chunk with
Hmm.
with the wanted poster. Now you just have to continuously earn it.
Damn. Capitalism.
So now
I
we have
know.
all of our shit.
Or steal. You could steal.
True. Steal, beggar, barter.
There you go.
Damien comes back around and finds the new hammer. Captain Barrow still around?
Uh, by the time your conversation is over, while you're walking to the cart, he kind of just gives you a nod and a wave, tips his hat at you. So you'll probably see the hammer after he's already departed.
Hmm.
But you do take the hammer in your hands. It feels very well weighted. You don't know much about weaponry, but it feels nice in your hands.
They
I'll be
really gave
back.
us all of this stuff.
Yeah, he said it was a personal thank you for helping with the groan.
That was very nice of him.
Yeah, it was. And we shouldn't let it go to waste. We really need to get going.
Yeah, we gotta get going.
It'll be quick. And Damien heads back to the inn real fast.
Okay,
Oh,
sure.
Hey. And it's the innkeeper, whose name eludes me.
Yeah. What's up?
This thing. The old mall. The one that he killed that man with. Worth anything?
The one that he killed the man with? What?
The mall that he smashed the grung with, the old one.
Oh. Oh, she goes, I could give you a gold for it.
And I think he takes it. He puts it down by the fireplace. I'll take it. But if we're here for a while, I'll come back for that challenge and I'll come back for this.
The hammer?
Yeah, I'm gonna win it from you.
You're gonna win that. Wait, hold on. Sorry, out of character. The hammer that you just put down, or her axe?
The hammer.
Oh, okay.
It's a marker of saying that he's gonna come back and make
Got
good on
it.
that challenge.
Got it. Okay. So she smiles at you and she says, I look forward to it. And she hands you the 1 gold.
Get some damn beer in here, and then he'll leave.
She just shakes her head and smiles. Get out of my inn. So, all of you guys clamber into the cart. Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead. Gabby, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
I wasn't talking, Sid.
Oh, that's so weird. I saw your thing glowing and I heard a voice.
The DM's hearing things.
Say
It's
Oh,
going
something of note,
crazy.
Gabby, right
It's that
now.
say, dude.
Say something
mean,
now.
I moved something on my desk, so maybe that's why my thing
Oh.
lit up. But I did not say something. Sorry, Zed. Go.
Man, I shouldn't have had that monster. Anyway,
The monster's making you crazy.
so, the rats.
The rats.
The rats.
The rats.
The rats on the
I'm
walls.
crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room.
Okay. So you guys clamber into the cart. Who's driving?
Me.
Okay. Teacup sits
Sybil
next
has
to you.
Oh God.
Sybil has shotgun.
Okay, Sybil. Teacup sits in between the two of you. Hi.
Hello there.
I need to point where you gotta go.
Mm-hmm. I think he kind of like takes one claw, scoops it under Teacup's collar, and like plants him in Sybil's lap because he does not want to be touching this thing.
Teacups go. Oof. Okay, this is comfier anyway.
Sybil just like scruffs his head, like, hello.
He thumps his little rabbit foot.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So you guys hit the road and sorry. Dog is crying. We're gonna take her out real quick. So
How?
I know, poor baby. So Teacup starts to navigate to help you on the road. Honey Bear Farms is a few miles out from Bar's Hamlet and is on the way to Rovinia capital, where Teacup's master awaits for Teacup's return. It would take you. It's I would say late morning. You would probably arrive to Honey Bear Farms by cart. Probably mid-afternoon. In human time, that would probably be like 2:30 or so. Did you guys want to have any travel conversation, or shall we just arrive?
Chastity would like to speak to Alan.
Okay, you
Alan
guys
is the
do
hot
have the
topic
back.
around here.
Yeah,
Pretty
he
much.
is.
No, we have
Yeah.
intellectual conversation to be had.
Hey.
So you guys do actually have the back to yourselves, and while the tarp itself doesn't provide much privacy earshot wise, at least there is some separation between you guys and the front.
Y'all guys see that episode of Bridgerton? Anyways.
Oh my god.
Play the Pitbull music. No.
Going at human time is kind of crazy, Pillbug.
I know.
Human time.
Human time.
It's human time. All right. So
It's human time. Anyway.
so
Harken up.
Chastity's gonna go, hey, Alan, I want to talk to you about something.
What's that?
So, do you remember yesterday when you and me and Christian were kind of talking about how we may have gotten here?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, Melly said something about that forest, Phaedra Forest that we landed in, that kind of reminded me of that. She said that the wilds of the Fey realm connect there, and she mentioned something about their portals sometimes showing up. What do you think about that?
Portals. Huh. I mean, I guess here it would make sense to think that portals can just take people anywhere if that's the case, but I mean, considering everything, a portal here and then it somehow connects to where we came from. It's possible, but I feel like that would take a lot of work. Unless it's
Yeah.
just some naturally occurring thing that happens in that forest.
I guess, but doesn't it seem strange that a portal would open up at the exact moment we were going to crash a car?
does seem coincidental.
I know that you're pretty observant. Have you noticed anything that seems off or strange?
Well, when that crash would have happened, I remember I was starting to doze off to sleep. So I couldn't really notice anything. And then when it actually happened, I just blacked out, I guess. Then I woke up how I was, but I don't remember anything in between.
I have an out of character question for Cindy.
Yes, sorry, I was muted. Hello.
Is it okay to say some of the stuff that only Chastity knows right now?
That is absolutely up to you. If you want to share your secret knowledge, you may.
Okay. So, sorry, getting back in. Well, I mostly blacked out too, but I did notice one thing while the car was crashing.
Which was?
Well, when I looked over at Christian, because we were sitting next to each other, and he reached for the steering wheel, his eyes, they weren't human anymore.
W- What do you mean by that? What did they
He
look
was
like?
looking he was looking ahead, but his eyes were white. Completely white. No color, no pupils, no iris, no nothing.
And
And they were
that was the only thing that you saw?
In the moment, that was the only thing that I saw, but then think about yesterday, how Sybil and I, we have magic, I guess, but we weren't even sure how we were using it. But Christian, he seemed like he knew what he was doing when he killed that grung.
What did he even do?
He, like, muttered what I guess must have been a spell under his breath and just waved his hand, and without even looking, down goes the frog.
Muttered. I only saw him reach his hand out.
And then the whole getting us together on this road trip in the first place, not telling us where we're going, saying he wants to go on an adventure. And now he's not even here.
Are
I think he
you
knows more than he's letting on.
you th- he Alan sits up a little bit and he leans in a little more and he says, "You don't think that he is responsible for this, do you?"
Christian was my friend once, and I'd like not to think badly of him, but we're in a very strange situation, and he seems to be the only one who's completely cool with it. And then all these weird things happen. And then think about the rest of us, how we all changed so much, and he still looks like himself. And there's just too many coincidences in a row. And now with Melly talking about portals in the forest, I don't know. It's too much.
But why why talk about it now though? Why didn't you say anything about it earlier?
I wasn't sure who I could trust or who I could talk to. And honestly, I called Christian out on it yesterday, but he acted like he didn't know anything. And then we were busy, so I dropped it, and I just figured I should tell someone.
Hmm. That does change some things.
And I could be wrong, but I don't know. I guess if you notice anything, especially with Christian. That seems out of the ordinary. Do you think you could keep me posted?
Well, I can try, but we'll have to find him first in order for me to do that.
Yeah. Who knows where he's gone?
Though, you did mention something about, what was it? A college?
Yeah, Melly said that in Loreheart City, there's this college for bards, which are like magical music users, and that it was in the heart of the city around where we should stay.
I wonder.
You think that's what he's doing or where he's gone?
Well, if if it revolves around him, around his talents, I'm sure he'd be at least interested. And to be quite frank, I don't think it's too unlike him for him to just wander off on his own. He seems very independent.
Well, you're right there.
It's only
Maybe.
it's only a thought. Right now we've gone through so much and there's a lot we still don't know. Right now it's hard to tell what's really going on and what isn't. The best we can do is find some source of information that could tell us a lot of things about where we are at once. And at the very least, it seems like whoever Teacup's master is on the right path to that.
I agree with you, but I just hope nothing else goes wrong before we get there.
Well, I think we did okay managing against some other creatures that tried to attack us once. And now that Captain Bara supplied us with some more things, it might be a little easier.
I sure hope you're right.
So,
Excuse me.
so with that, I think this would be a perfect time to take a quick little break for us to go grab some water, take a quick bathroom break, and then we will be back in about 10 minutes or so. How does that sound?
Wahoo!
Sounds good.
Yippee!
Sounds good.
All right, perfect. We will see you guys soon. And don't go anywhere or go somewhere, but come back.
Please come back.
Or else.
Or
come back.
else.
Or else. Alrighty. Welcome back, everybody. We are back on the road and approaching Honey Bear Farms. We left off with some little chit chat on the road, some more trauma dumping on poor Alan. And now it's coming into view as you guys start to see these plains and pastures. And on the horizon, you see this beautiful building. There's a couple of them. It's like this nice big log cabin home. And then across the way and like a handful of feet down is this really big barn. And you see this beautiful fence surrounding the area, and it looks like it's just a little ways off of the main road. And in the style of like passing a ranch, you see that wooden fence structure with that little arch that you would pass through with your horses, and a swinging sign, very beautifully carved and engraved, that reads Honey Bear Farms. And Teacup says, "We can stop here."
Great. Awesome.
Chastity yells up into the front to Teacup and goes, Teacup, do you know anybody in this town?
It's not a town. It's just Honey and her wife.
All right, should we go see them?
Yeah, we can get lunch.
Sounds good.
Yay!
Teacup
Lunch.
loves food.
Teacup
I
really
do.
As soon as he can, Damien will stop the horses, and hand the reins over to Sybil. I need a minute.
What
And
the fuck do
he's
you want me
gonna-
to do with these?
I don't know. Fucking put him somewhere. And he'll like just kind of hop off the cart, and he's gonna try to find a little more of a secluded spot if possible. I don't know if there's any trees around or anything he can like go behind.
There are plenty of trees. This is actually a very beautiful spot. You're still like close to where a lot of the forests are. You're not quite out in like big rolling hills yet, so plenty of trees and spots to do whatever you got to do.
Cool. He is gonna stumble his way over, one hand gripping his forehead. As soon as he gets to a tree, the claws sink into the bark. As he tilts his head down and he just pukes.
Yeah, gross. Okay. So you are doing your business,
Mhm.
being all sick and not feeling good. And even though this body feels fresh and new and unbroken, there's still something in your mind that is making you ill.
He feels really hot is something else, and I think he notices that he can't sweat in this new body, that he can't let that out the same way. So the probably what he at least does is like
Wait, do lions
undoes.
not sweat?
I don't think so.
I'll Google it.
Thank you.
I think
I'm like,
aren't
God.
humans the only sweating animal besides like
No, I
platypi
mean-
who
A
sweat
quick
milk?
Google search. Do lions sweat?
Well, I
I-
don't know. Well, because I feel like technically you're not a lion. You're a lion person. This is more just curiosity. If you don't want to sweat, that's up to you.
So lions
I just don't know how
have,
it would work.
lions have sweat glands, but they have significantly fewer sweat glands than people. So they go in the shade. They're more active at night as opposed to during the day because it's cooler. They lay on their backs and they like expose their bellies because it lets off more heat that way. They do pant like dogs, which sounds very Damien to me. And they also sometimes lick like their arms or their front limbs as a different type of evaporative cooling.
Okay.
Well, there
I
you
don't know
go.
if I don't think he knows about that last part.
We're learning about
But,
lions.
Would it be like
Education.
instinct? I wonder if it would be instinct, like your body like feels like it has to do. So like he just like lays down, like tummy up.
I feel like the panting for sure. You
Yeah.
probably
yeah.
just start huffing.
probably before like immediately flopping on the ground, he's gonna bring his ass back to the cart. Are we fully stopped, or is there still like a way to go?
You're starting to pull up. It's probably about another like 5-minute drive until you're at the main house.
All right. And he'll hop in the back, and he's just gonna lay down, and his feet are gonna dangle off the back end of the cart.
Got it. Yeah. You guys just see Damien like plop in, and he does not look good.
Cassie looks at him and kind of looks him over, kind of like swerves her head around, and then she goes, Damien, you good there?
I'm in peak fighting condition. Just peachy.
Okay, well,
sounded
what's
very
wrong, Mr.
convincing.
Sarcastic?
I don't know. Maybe it's this whole new body thing or something. It just sucks.
Well, if you're not going to be specific, we can't help you, so lay there and suffer.
Okay, so you guys pull up to the house. And Sybil, as the one driving the cart, before you can even come to a full stop, Teacup jumps off the cart and runs up to the house.
I feel like this is gonna happen a lot with Teacup.
She gets run over. It's not my fault.
Oh,
Cassie leans forward to look out the driver's seat, and she watches Teacup run.
yeah, you see Teacup run to this front door, and as you peek out, you and Sybil, and then whoever wants to take a peek out of the cart, sees horses, cows, pigs, chickens, all kinds of farm animals just wandering around. And then, I'm not gonna make you guys roll for perception because this thing is gigantic. You see over the peak of the house a giant rooster-like bird head.
Alive?
Alive. It looks like it's past the house in the back somewhere.
Is that a giant chicken? And she squints her eyes, rubs it. Am I seeing this?
It looks like it.
I see it too, Sybil.
All right, so I see we crossed into Storybook Land. She's gonna try to park the cart wherever.
So yeah, you can easily stop right in front of the house. There's also stables to the left, but the horses are already in there. And that's where you actually see someone come out from the stables. So with a broom in her hand, you see this warm brown skinned humanoid creature. She does have pointier ears and she is a bit shorter. It looks like she's a couple of feet taller than Teacup, but shorter than the rest of you guys. Oh, is that Teacup? You're back, buddy. How was your trip? Honey, Teacup says, and then turns around and runs in the opposite direction. I got friends this time. Oh, you brought friends, huh? Yeah. Well, some of them. And she kind of puts her hand over her eyes, trying to block the sun, kind of squinting. Hey, come on out. The cockatrice won't eat ya.
Sorry, did you say cockatrice?
Cockatrice, yeah.
She turns to Alan, cockatrice? Do you know what that is?
Alan, can you actually roll a history check?
Sure, why not?
It's
And then a nature check.
It's like free dicks, right?
And then what?
Scott.
Give me a history, and then I'll let you know if you need to roll a nature.
Okay. That is a 16 for history.
Okay, and then a nature?
Nature is a dirty 20.
So whether or not you want to share this information, you do, in fact, know that that is a cockatrice.
Doesn't it just look like a big chicken or a big rooster?
Just for me to get you I'm just going to get you guys a reference picture, so for people who haven't really seen one before can in fact see it. It does kind of look like if a rooster and a dragon had a baby, pretty much.
Okay. I mean, I've never seen one of these before. So I guess it is.
Okay. So, you guys start to get out of the cart, I presume?
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, with Honey and Teacup kind of chattering away, you guys get out of the cart and see more of this farm. And it looks like on top of carrying some kind of broom, you also see Honey wearing these like big, thick work gloves. So, how can I help you guys out today, huh? You you travel from where are you traveling from? Don't look very familiar to these parts.
Not from quite a ways away, but we're trying to help Teacup get back to their master.
Ah, that's sweet of you.
Yep, Teacup thought we would stop here. Said that maybe we could have lunch with you guys.
Yes, and you see that she kind of like pinches Teacup's cheek. You guys can come on in for lunch.
Well, thank you.
And she nods towards the front door as she goes in, and she gestures for y'all to follow her in. And then that's when she says, Miss Lily, my wife, she should actually be in the kitchen right now. She always makes extra, and I guess it's a good thing that she did.
Well, thank you. You're very kind for having us.
Well, I always say that the kinder you are to folk, the easier it is to ask for favors. She winks.
What does her wife Lily look like?
So, as you guys pile into the dining room, Lily comes on out with this holding a pot. And she's a little bit taller and more slender than Honey is, but same like pointy ears. Not as long as Alan's. And she's holding this pot and she goes, "Oh, we have company." She looks down at the pot. "Yeah, I think this should be enough." "Welcome." And she's a little bit of a fair skin, but still tan, of like this, the kind of tan that someone would be working out in the sun a lot. Um, has more like golden reddish hair and bright green eyes.
Oh, well, we're friends of Teacups. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, of course. I got gumbo today, and she puts it down on the table. I'll go get some extra bowls.
Thank you.
So, Honey looks over to Teacup and she says, "Okay, so why'd you really bring him here?" "Well, for lunch." Honey shakes her head. And Teacup says, "Well, they said they needed money. They're broke."
We didn't say that. Did you say that? She points to Chastity.
Not in those words exactly, but I mean, we were talking about it yesterday.
Something about odd jobs.
Teacup, did you overhear me talking to Melly this morning?
I overhear everything. I got big ears.
Oh, you must have had a fun time last night, buddy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I slept well.
Mm-hmm.
Damien, stop saying
Hmm.
perverted things around Teacup.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
pervert.
things. I mean, you're the one taking it all perverted, like.
Anyway,
Oh, you're incorrigible. Well,
Teacup says, It's time to milk the venom, right?" Honey laughs. "Yeah, it's time to milk the venom."
I think with that, Damien kind of like elbows Sybil, like inside joke kind of style.
Oh God.
Yes. She has like a mixed reaction of like disgust, but she also kind of finds it funny. She doesn't know how to feel.
The venom?
Honey says, yeah. So, our cockatrice back there, besides laying some eggs, and using its feathers and stuff, I sell its venom. A lot of alchemists and the like will come over to buy the venom, but sometimes not everyone wants to trek over here, so I make my way to local markets, like the one at Loreheart City, and I sell its eggs, its feathers, its venom.
What does
Oh.
the venom do?
For an alchemical ingredient, but I'm sure on its own it would be acidic and poisonous.
Could be useful.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
a pretty price.
How much?
Let's see. I sell one vial for 10 gold.
Hmm.
And how many vials can we get milking it?
How many vials do we get milk in it? Oh, oof, depends on the on the temperament and the day. Usually when I'm gentle and I take things slow, I could get a good 50 vials.
Yeah, you really got to take your time when you milk venom.
You'd know, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Mm.
think
He
Damien
slaps
here
her
would
back of
be,
the head again.
I
How
think
do you
Damien would
even
be
reach
happy to
up?
help you.
Sorry, Chastity, go ahead.
Seeing that Damien's being a jerk about it, but also knowing that he is the largest in the party, she looks at Honey and goes, I think Damien here would be happy to help you.
He looks like he's got the hands for it. Don't be too rough,
Do I-
though. She bites.
Well, do I get some if I can do it right?
Uh, it's a pretty valuable item of ours. It's
So
one of the
you're just
reasons
asking
we.
me to do free labor?
No, I'll pay, but that's not what I need help with. I need a ride to the city.
Well, we
But
can give you a ride.
if you want to help milk the venom, I only have about 15 vials so far, so I need another 35.
Well, if I do this for you and say I do it well, say I handle things as it needs to be, you think you could maybe put a few my way? And I want to try and persuade her.
She before you do try, she says, I mean, I was just going to give you gold. Are you sure you want the venom?
Want to see what it'll do?
Okay, roll persuasion.
Cool. Ah, my dice is hacked.
Well, unkick it.
It's unkicked. The 14.
She
Yeah, I don't
takes
have
a
anything
minute.
special in persuasion.
That's okay. She takes a second. She says, I think I can give you one or two.
All right, fair enough.
As
So, like,
interesting as the venom sounds, I think the gold might be a little more useful for us right now.
well, the gold might be useful for you, but if I'm getting my hands on it, I get what I want.
Is now the time? Is Chastity gonna go grab Damien by the ear now?
That's my patience.
So Chastity's gonna go up to Damien, not quite ear grabbing level yet, but she grabs his arm and she goes, Damien, remember that all of us have to stay together and we're going to need money where we're going. So maybe, just maybe, we could put the venom thing aside for now.
No, he could have a vial. It's okay, but I'll still give you the money.
Well,
There you
thank you
go.
very much.
Compromise.
I will say, the reason why I need to drive to the city is because one of the markets are happening. I make most of my profit at those markets. So if you guys plan to stay in Loreheart City for about a day, could I pay you after I make my sales?
I think we're headed towards Loreheart anyway, right, Teacup?
Yeah.
How about this, honey? Would you mind paying us for the drive before and then paying us for the help with the venom after? Split half and what? Half 50-50?
That sounds perfect to me. I'd really appreciate it.
All
So,
right.
how much is your little band charging?
1,000 gold.
I don't got that. But that was cute.
All right, I'll make a discount. 2,000 gold.
This is why she flunked math 3 times.
Why don't we call it 100?
100. Okay. Uh,
Well, how
real
far
quick,
is it
DM.
anyway? Like, what's reasonable?
She says, well, Loreheart's about depends on, like I said, depends on the weather. And if it's good driving weather, 1 to 2 days north.
Okay.
So how about this? 100 gold a day for however long it takes to get to Loreheart, and 150 gold for helping me out with the venom.
That sounds just fine, Miss Honey.
That sounds all right to me.
So that way, DM math out of character. That way, when the total job is done, that would be 50 gold per player.
That's pretty good
Jar.
per person, so
I just want to make
Yeah.
sure we have enough money to actually like stay at the inn when we
To live.
I think we'll definitely have enough to last for a while
Oh,
after
yeah.
doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Show me the thing I need to wrangle.
Oh, she's pretty tame. You guys finish up your gumbo. Do the rest of you also go out to the back?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see as you head back, you go over this little bridge, like this cute little bridge that was built, and a little like babbling stream runs under it. And then you see this giant nest and this even bigger bird. It is exactly what you guys would have imagined, a dragon mixed with a rooster. Its legs are and head are really scaly. It's got these big feathers and a giant long slithery tail, and its eyes are kind of glowing. It's creepy. And Honey cracks her knuckles and she says, "Okay, so these are the gloves that I use. I do have extra pairs. I'm always needing extra. Sometimes the acid burns through. Here you go." And she gives each of you a pair of gloves. And
Nibble's
she,
not going to use the gloves.
okay. And she
Uh,
says,
one of my pointers here. Dig right through this thing.
The gloves are oddly contentious today. Interesting.
so, there is 2 ways to get the venom out of the cockatrice. Its talons and its beak. I usually just go for the talons. When she's being nice, I'll go for the beak. But
The beak's
I don't think
harder.
she'll let. Yeah, I don't think it would be a good idea to let strangers go up there.
I think
Especially-
Damien rolls his neck around and he starts to make the approach.
She just laid her eggs recently. I don't think it would be and in the middle of her saying that, the cockatrice turns its head and spots you and starts to lower its neck. I'm gonna need you to roll a dexterity check.
Okie dokie. Damn, I wish I was a higher level, but anyways. Natural 20 for a total of 22.
The cockatrice snaps its beak at you, but you kind of roll out of the way real quick.
And I think in that motion, I want to get one arm crick under the neck and then the other hand on the beak. And I'd love to get into a rage to do this.
Okay, sure. I would say roll an athletics for that.
Lovely, perfect. Very mindful, very demure.
And mind you, this creature is like one or two size categories above you.
What size category is it?
This one, hold on.
Because it would have to be huge to avoid being grappled.
I'm trying to remember.
I think. Grappling is weird in Dungeons and Dragons.
Also, Sid, question.
Yes.
While
Yes.
this is going on, can Chastity ask Honey a quick question about it?
Yeah,
Like,
go
in
ahead.
a second. Okay.
Yeah.
So Chastity
You can ask her.
Chastity turns to Honey and she goes, "Can you still milk the venom when it's asleep?"
Yes. Although I try not to because it's a bit cranky when it wakes up.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I'm getting small. Why did I think it was large?
I mean, it could
I think it
Could be-
feels large, but it is a small creature in D&D. It's silly.
You could just say it's a giant cockatrice.
You could just
Yeah, I
say
was
it is a
gonna
big
say,
one and make it
this
medium
one
to
is a
large.
big one. It is a very big one.
If it's a giant cockatrice, then it'd probably be a large category.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
So, and that's only one size category above you. So,
Easy solution. Take any beast, say it's a giant beast.
there you go.
Sydney, you're not going to like me. I rolled another natural 20. That's a grand
No,
total
that's
of
perfect.
25.
I do like you. I like when my players succeed. So,
Wahoo.
you successfully grapple this cockatrice. And that is pretty much at the same time that Honey says to Chastity, "Yeah, I try not to wake it up." And both you and Honey watch as Damien grapples the head of this cockatrice and does what with the beak?
Now, like, the venom has to be extracted from the beak is how it works?
Yes.
So, like, does the beak have to be open or closed?
Open. So you kind of see like the little glands of where they would pop out. Kind of like almost when you look into a snake's mouth, I guess.
Cool. So he's got one arm fully wrapped around the neck and, like, brought up to his chest to hold it like that. It's a wrestling move, is what you can definitely see. Like, it's something that he did when he used to wrestle. The hand, in order to get the beak open, he has his fingers like as flexed as they physically can be, with the thumb on the bottom of the beak and the top, and the fingers pushing up the top to have it open.
Okay. So
All right,
now
unless someone's gonna give me a third arm over here.
I mean,
I'll rush in.
Sybil will help.
Honey is actually going to come up real quick and she says, "Here, I'm going to show you how to get it from the beak." And she reaches behind the gland. And as you're holding the beak open for her, and you can see where she presses on it and holds a vial up. And it's going to sound really gross, but kind of like an udder, but not like an udder. It squirts out. And she gets it into the vial.
Ew.
And then she gets the second gland on the other side of the beak and fills up another vial. And she gets about 6 vials, 3 from each side from the beak.
Is that like all that she can get from the beak, or is that just what she did in the moment?
That's what she did in the moment, and then she says it's probably safe to stop here for the beak. I think that's all it's going to tolerate for now.
And he'll let go of the thing.
It immediately like wriggles out of your grasp and shakes its head and screeches.
He kind of like does that like step forward and puffs the chest out, you know?
Honey rolls her eyes but she thanks you, and she like starts to pet the cockatrice and like makes it unruffle its feathers. She says, "Okay, it'll be easier to get the talons. But actually, do you think you could help me roll over some of the eggs?"
Won't that make the cockatrice angry?
But I'm gonna distract it. We need to sell the eggs. They're not living. She can't breed. So there's nothing for her to breed with.
Is that a
There's not
dog?
another cockatrice. No, Davey, no.
that was Alex
No.
being a terrible creature, not me.
Anyway, so she does point to you, Alan, and she says, "You look like you'd be a little more nimble. Do you think you could roll them away while I get her distracted?"
He nods and he says, I can give it a try.
She nods. She starts to drag over this giant bag of seed, and she just goes and does like these little clicking sounds and starts to feed this hand feed, by the way, this seed to the cockatrice, and like pets its beak very calmingly.
Okay, I'll use that opportunity to move in towards the eggs.
All right, there seems to be 3. And they are pretty large. They're about the size of your whole torso.
So I'd only be able to do one at a time.
Yeah. So do you want to pick them up or do you want to roll them?
Roll them.
Okay, that's going to be a dexterity check. Can you make 3 of those? Unless Chastity and Sybil want to each take an egg as well.
Sure. Why not?
Okay, so then I need each of you to roll 1 dexterity check.
That's a
Chastity's pretty strong. Can she just try and lift the egg up instead?
Yeah, absolutely. Let her be buff and 1-up Damien.
Sure.
I got a 16 for the dexterity.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
And
5.
Sybil, you got a 5? Okay.
I got a natural 20 on my strength for a total of 23.
Hey,
Nice.
Sorry, I had
Awesome.
to take a call. What's up? What are we doing?
The 3 of them are trying to extract the eggs.
Cool.
So,
Is there anything that Damien can do or not really?
if you want to assist Sybil because she's about to break one.
Okay. What do I roll for this?
Well, first, I want you to tell me how you're going to assist. Right now, she was trying to roll for it, like roll the egg, and it looks like it's about to drop out of the nest, as it is rolling out of her control. How are you going to step in?
Could I go for like a quick grab, like a football player? Could I try like an say an acrobatics to try and grab it before it hits?
Yes, absolutely.
Lovely. I don't get advantage on this, but I imagine the rage has dropped since I haven't been bitten to
Yeah.
death. Comes out to 18.
Perfect. Okay. So, Alan, you very delicately roll the egg out of the nest and you start to bring it away from its little enclosure area and like back towards the barn. And the rest of you see Chastity lift this egg up one arm. And Chastity, you're just like, wow, this is pretty light. I'm kind of surprised. And you're
So,
just
upon seeing that, Sybil gets like really distracted, and that's probably why she fails her.
exactly. You're like, wow, I didn't expect her to be so strong. And you're not even looking at the egg until you feel it roll out of your grasp. And Damien, you catch this and you're like, oh boy. And you kind of do that like football player jump/slide and you catch the egg and like huddle it to your chest.
You okay?
Yeah, you're gonna wipe the drool off your chin?
Like you weren't looking.
Yeah, I was focused on something else.
Excuse me for having my priorities straight.
More like your priorities, gay.
Cassidy just took the hot one mantle from Alan.
I wasn't ready for that one. That was really good.
Thank you. I'm here all week.
Chastity?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you're taking that egg in one arm. How are you feeling about that?
I feel fine, and I think I haven't noticed that everybody else was like struggling or being delicate, so I assume that it's not that I'm strong, but that the eggs are light.
There you go.
Alan's just
So
rolling an egg along.
you guys bring it over to the barn, where she directed you guys to. It seems like she has a way of like packing this up in a cart. And she does state after she comes back. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put its own little cart and hitch it up to the back of yours. They'll be like protected enough. It's the cart I usually take to bring him to Loreheart City.
Sounds like a plan.
And after a little while of you guys continuing to work, you eventually make 35 more vials of the venom. And it seems like she has like crates for that are like filled with hay that she like puts them all into so they don't break.
Sick.
Hey. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sybil?
So sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just like while like creating up the vials, Sybil like definitely gets like a thought like, I wonder if I shot glass these, what would that taste like?
Dies.
Do you
Everyone
No.
stay away
do
from the
that?
She-
take venom, please.
Take a shot of venom.
I mean,
Are
it
you gonna
does
steal 'em?
say. No, I'm not gonna steal them, but it does say poison immunity on the sheet.
Well, yeah, it stops you from the damage, but if it's got some other kind of effect, then it would be a little dicey.
She wasn't thinking about that. She's
Yeah,
not gonna
she
do
doesn't
it,
know
but
how
she's
that
just.
works.
It's one of those intrusive thoughts.
It's actually really funny. Does Honey give us a vial or two, or give Damien a vial or two?
Yeah, she does hand you 3 vials. She says these were
Hmm.
extra that I managed to get, so it's not taken away from my selling.
Great. What do these things like actually do when, like, I don't know, like put in a person?
So she says cockatrice venom, like I said, is usually used as an alchemical ingredient for other poisons and potions. So
Mhm.
it's not really used on its own.
Right.
However, from what I understand, if you drink it or you use it on someone, it could stun and restrain a person.
Damn, okay.
I believe it also has the chance to petrify someone.
That's kind of cracked.
To like make them hard.
Ugh.
Yeah, kind of like turning someone to stone.
Is it at all like alcohol?
No.
Do you have any alcohol?
I knew that was going to be the next question.
Again.
This is
No.
going to be like, do you have alcohol?
This entire world sucks.
I drank my last bottle of mead last night.
There. We'll get to a bar soon.
My next batch is still brewing. It'll be another week or so until it's ready.
Chastity does not give a crap about Damien's mood or plight and just yells at him like, "Hey, you want to hitch up the wagon? We need to get going here."
Mm-hmm. He like winces, the headaches back.
Honey does say but to you, Chassie, we can absolutely get on the road tonight. But we'd probably only be able to ride for about another 5 to 7 hours before we'd have to make camp.
Do you think that's a good idea? And we'd be able to do it?
I think it's a good I think it's reasonable to at least get started.
All right, then let's get started.
Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye to my wife real quick if you guys want to figure your stuff out.
Sure thing.
And Honey is gonna head back into the house, kind of sort out her things, because from what it seems like from you guys chatting with her throughout the afternoon, that it seems like when she goes to these markets, she's gone for at least a week or so.
Alan
Seems legit.
kind of hold out one of the vials. Seems like your main shtick is stabbing people, so I imagine you'll get some mileage out of this.
It could be worth a try if I need to. You offering him a vial?
Yep.
He will carefully take it from you.
Want some drugs?
Want to do shots? No, I was kidding. So
And does Damien get an idea of where that brewery that she mentioned is? Or can he look for it?
1 vial of cockroach
It
mace
would be
venom.
it would be in her home. You actually would have seen it set up in her kitchen, like the big growlers with like
Mhm.
the little system, like the little fermentation system sitting on top of the spout.
Now I know she said it's working on it, so like, does that mean there's some alcohol in there?
Probably very little. She said there's about a week or so left before it's fully fermented.
Yeah, my guy's stupid. I think he's gonna try to get in that house. Is it locked or?
No, both Honey and Lily are inside.
Okay. I'll try to be quiet about it.
Says the giant lion.
Yeah, the giant lion. That sounds fun.
So,
Stealth, perhaps?
sure.
Okay, let's see how this goes. That's a solid 12.
Okay. So, you go into the house and you think you're being pretty quiet, and you're like, yeah, I think I could take it. And then you go into the kitchen, and Honey and Lily are standing right there.
Hmm.
It seems like that's where they were talking. Honey kind of catches you in her peripheral and says, "Oh, anything I can help you with?"
Yeah, bathroom?
"Oh, outhouse towards the barn." She points out the window.
Oh, okay. He glances at the still for like a moment, and there's like a little bit of longing in those eyes. but
Lily,
oh, Lily's about to do something. Sorry.
you catch Lily look at you and then at the growler and look back at you, and she says, "Did you want any? It's not ready."
I mean, like it's. I know it's not fully ready, but there's something in there. It's got a little kick, maybe.
I mean, I guess, but it'd be a little gross. It's right now it's a little grainy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're okay parting with some of it, that would be nice.
Real quick, have you ever brewed any of your own stuff?
No, I have not.
She waves you over. So she picks up the growler and it's clear. It's a clear bottle, so you can kind of see the liquid. And she says, "So this is how we make it, right?" And she picks it up and she shows you the bottom. You see all of these granules down here?
Hmm.
That's the yeast. That's the yeast kind of getting mixed in, and she shakes it. So you have to stir it every now and then until it fully dissolves and ferments into the alcohol. So right now, if you were to drink it, you wouldn't be getting much of a kick as you would be getting a mouthful of grain and honey.
So you're saying that it's not really booze. It just
It would taste a little sour and a little bitter, and you might feel a little something after a while, but you gotta wait a little bit. And I guess the good things are worth waiting for, aren't they?
be just like get a good handle on things and expand my horizons, see if maybe this is something I will do down the line. Maybe just a little taste, maybe just a bit.
She shakes her head and she pours you a little shot of it. And she hands it to you.
I down it instantly. Does he feel any better?
I would say it's a mental thing. So you tell me, is it the placebo effect?
I think he's hoping for something that will. He's just hoping for something. Like his body's putting him through the ringer, and he knows exactly why. So I
It
think he's
feels
viewing it like medicine, is what he thinks.
it feels warm going down your chest, and that warmth is familiar. And in there you find some comfort, but it's not the burn or sting of the alcohol. It doesn't with one sip it doesn't give you that immediate buzz. But there is some comfort of that warmth going down your throat and your chest.
Yeah, you're right. It definitely needs more time. Thank you, Lily. Right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Be careful with my
We're
wife.
yeah, we'll take good care of her
I
and he'll
appreciate it.
trudge on back out there. Probably find the outhouse and like give it a fucking kick or something because he's like annoyed.
So, as you guys you can go kick the outhouse. As you guys get the cart ready, she hitches up the eggs. She does make sure they're actually nice and covered, so it looks like you're just hauling a crate pretty much. It's kind of like an extension to your cart. Um she hands Chastity a pretty heavy bag and she says, "As promised, half up front."
Thank you, Miss Honey. It's been a pleasure.
Yes. So, where can I sit?
I think Chastity looks at Damien and Sybil and she goes, "Are you guys taking friend again?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can do it. I got it.
And then she looks at Teacup. Teacup, are you going with Sybil?
I guess, unless you guys know where you're going.
There's still some room in the back if you want to
Or
join.
if Miss Honey's done this journey plenty of times, why doesn't she point the way?
Well, I mean, if there's enough room for me, yeah, I'd love to give you some directions.
Sybil, are you okay with coming in the back with us this time?
She kind of scowls at Honey, but like gets over it, like fine.
I think in like a low hush tone, just to Sybil, it would be like, "Please get that fucking rabbit away from me."
You mean your bestest pal?
I'm going to take off his head if he keeps talking the whole way.
Can hear you.
Good.
Damien?
Yeah, so we'll go to the back if Teacup wants to follow or not.
Okay. Teacup does crawl into the back, and Honey will take the passenger side next to David. All right, let's get this show on the road, and I hope you guys enjoy Loreheart City.
Wahoo!
There's going to be a bunch of nice markets. You're actually going at a perfect time. There's going to be one of their yearly festivals.
What kind of festival?
A beer festival?
More like a it's kind of like that mid part of the year, right? You know, after the year's up, but before New Year starts at the college. So a lot of new students arrive in, a lot of families coming to visit. A lot of bonfires, a lot of parties, and lots of local vendors selling their goods, which is why I'm going.
Well, that sounds nice.
Oh, I think you guys will love it, especially if you're new to the area.
How long does that festival usually go on for?
Sydney, for clarification, did we start moving yet?
Oh, yes, no, you've been on the road.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel antsy.
No, it's alright. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, you guys are on the road. You see Honey Bear Farms shrinking. Oh,
Pause.
I'll answer. Sorry. I'll answer that in just a second. So you see Honey Bear Farms shrinking away in the distance, and you guys are on the road. This part of the conversation, you're probably on the road for about an hour or so. The sun is starting to set as the evening sky rolls in. Um, Honey responds with a couple of days. I'm usually in Loreheart for about a week, just because it takes a couple days to get there. So I want to give my wares some time to sell. But this particular festival, I believe it's 3 days, about a 3-day festival. But the parties sometimes go longer. Am I steady now?
We're back. I think we're back.
Okay. Was it just me, or was it the whole stream?
It was stream. It's funny because it
Oh.
wasn't even my internet. I think OBS just disconnected from the server because I could
Oh,
still
it
hear you just
happened.
fine.
Okay. Should I
Yeah.
repeat anything that I've said?
If you could, yeah.
Probably the whole
Okay.
thing about the festival. I think we were out for most of that time.
Ah, got it. Okay. So, Honey pretty much tells you guys that the festival lasts for about 3 days. But the parties last for longer. um and the festival is in celebration of that mid part of that uh kind of like the summer break, pretty much. Halfway after the school year is over and halfway before the next school year begins. So a lot of new students are filing in, a lot of families coming with those new students, and families visiting existing students. So there's a lot of parties, a lot of vendors selling their wares, and that's why she usually goes. And because it takes a couple days to get there, she likes to spend a week to be able to sell all of her things. And that's usually about how long people linger, even after the official festival kind of goes away.
Parties, huh? What do you think, Sybil? Should we get introduced to the local culture.
I think they'll be pleased to meet us.
Pleased amongst other things.
Cassidy gets a little bit flustered and she looks at Honey and she goes, about how much longer do you think we're gonna have to go until we need to camp?
Depends how comfortable you guys are driving in the dark.
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
This thing don't have headlights.
What are
I
headlights?
mean, I can keep a good eye out, but like the horses,
I feel like horses are usually fine. It depends on the driver, really.
Damien, I think we all remember what happened last time you had to keep an eye out.
I think because of that, Damien's gonna stop short and then go fast.
You all
Sybil's
kind
gonna,
of jerk in your seats.
Sybil's gonna hoot and holler.
Whoops. Sorry. I don't know how that happened.
No, do that again. That was fun.
Forget about what we're traveling behind us. Valuables, breakables.
Right.
And if I don't make my money, you don't make yours. Honey says with kind of a mean grin.
So let's all just be sensible, please.
I mean, we just have to be civil, right? At the end of the day.
Honey says, well, I can definitely sense a little bit of tension in your group. So I'm not gonna lie that I'm not second guessing this, but here we are. So, if you are comfortable, Mr. Driver, you just let us know when you get tired and need to pull over.
All right. Sounds fine.
Can Chastity rummage through like the benches in the back and look at what kind of camping supplies they might have?
Yes. So, you guys were provided with 5 tents. You were also provided with a starter set of like a flint, right? Flint and
Mhm.
stone.
Deal.
Steel.
Just flint.
Yeah. Okay, just flint. To get your fire started. You guys have some rations. And you also have like little cast iron, a little cast iron skillet and a cast iron pot to boil water and cook like soups. So it seems like you were given the basic necessities. And you were also given bedrolls to put inside of your tents.
How many?
5.
5. Okay.
And the tents are one people tents, or that like could fit two?
They are 1 people tents.
Okay.
Sorry, Damien.
Hey, it just means that there's a little less room to work with. Sometimes you gotta make do.
When there's a will, there's a way.
Country girls make do, bro. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I hate that. So
Oh my god.
immediately now. Well, Chastity's gonna look back at the party and kind of read out everything that they have for camping and say, well, we're kind of gonna be roughing it, but we have enough where we should be okay.
Teacup says, I have my own bedroll, see? And like holds out his backpack.
Oh no, the tents can only fit one person each, Teacup. I guess you'll have to enjoy the stars.
That's okay. I've been doing it this whole time.
And Teacup can stay in my tent. I'm sure we can fit.
Chastity.
Yeah.
Teacup
Getting
crawls into
real
your
close
lap.
to that rabbit, huh?
Well, considering somebody threatens to take his head off every time I'm not looking, I figure it's the best course of action.
Mm-hmm.
Teacup crawls into your lap, Chastity, and whispers in your ear, I actually have a secret.
And so Chastity whispers back and she goes, well, what is it?
They rummage into their bag and he pulls out like this little wand and he says, "This wand can create a safe space."
And she like cocks her head and looks at them sideways and goes, "What do you mean a safe space?"
"I'll show you when we camp."
And she says, "Okay, we'll do it later."
"Yeah, good. That meanie won't be able to get to me."
And Chastity kind of goes back to her regular seat.
So, you guys travel. Damien, tell me, how comfortable are you driving at night?
In his new body, he does have dark vision.
Okay.
And I mean, he's been used to driving at night when he was going out to parties, hanging out with Cam because, they can't be seen during the day. So
Okay.
it's nothing new to him, really.
All right. So you comfortably can drive for about 5.5 hours.
Hmm.
That's when it starts to be like, okay, the moon and the stars are out and it's a clear sky, so at least that's guiding you. But it is dark. You feel like you can go for another 2.5 hours before you think you're going to have to realistically call it a night.
I think he's willing to stop early.
Okay.
And get settled.
Okay.
Chastity,
So
what does it look like in terms of food rations? What do we got?
Was he asking me that? I couldn't hear.
yes,
Yeah.
he was.
Oh,
So
sorry.
you guys have like nuts, seeds, dried fruits, jerky, um,
Is there
things like
anything
that.
that
Roast.
needs to be cooked? Or is it mostly just preserved stuff?
It's mostly just preserved stuff since there wasn't really ways to keep things cold. But it looks like for at least the first night, they did pack you some salted meats because the salted meats last a little longer.
Mhm.
So that would be a good thing to have for the first night on the road. And it looks like there is a it looks like a jar like that's made out of stone. So the stone is kind of cool to the touch. And when you open it, you do see something that's a little familiar. And it's like this nice homemade butter.
So Chastity turns to Damien. She goes, "Well, we don't have a whole ton of supplies. Most of what we have is preserved. So we have like nuts and jerky and travel things that we should probably conserve. But we do have some salted meat that we could probably put in the pan to soak the salt out and have. And there's some butter here. And we could probably have that with some of the harder breads and crackers."
I mean,
They
salted's
also
all right, but I mean, if we want to conserve, why don't one or two of us go on a little hunt, have a bit of fun, and he'll take one of the javelins that he's got from what Captain Barra gave him and give it a little like spin around.
so again, the meat that was given will probably is only good for another day or two. So if you want to use that first, but obviously if you want to go hunting, I'm not going to stop you. But it would be a good idea to use the meat before it goes bad. And also for the rations, it looks like they did provide dried herbs, like fresh garden herbs that they seem to have picked as well. So like rosemary and basil and things like that.
Well, said you're not going to stop him, but Chastity's going to try.
Okay. So I'm going to
So
leave that to you guys.
yeah. So hearing what Damien said, she turns and she goes, "I don't know how good of an idea that is. We don't know what lives out here. We don't know what's safe to eat. We don't know what's going to try and eat us."
Well, we have some locals, so find something, bring it back, figure it out from there. Sounds fine by me.
What does anybody else think?
Well, Honey says a lot of elk, birds, uh foresty kind of creatures, squirrels, things like that.
Elk sounds pretty good.
Chastity turns to Sybil and she goes, "Do you want to go with him?"
Yeah, why not? I'm down for blowing off some steam.
And she turns to Alan and she goes, "What about you?"
I'll probably end up staying behind with the camp. Make sure everything is set.
All right, so me and Alan and Teacup will stay here. Sybil and Damien, good luck. Miss Honey, what do you want to do?
Stay back and help you set up camp. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get set up. And Damien, Sybil, don't die.
No promises.
Well, I mean, that one I don't really want to do. I think I can agree with her on this one.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Yeah.
So, you guys find a nice clearing off the main road, not completely in the coverage of the trees, so you still have like a nice little spot carved out for yourselves. And you guys start to unload what you need from the cart, and Sybil and Damien, you grab the weapons that you need to grab, and you make your way off to go hunt. As for our camping group, I want to start there. So, you guys take out your tents, you start to pitch them, get ready. Honey helps with getting the fire started for you guys and getting that set up. Looks like she's gonna start at least a little something for you guys. Looks like she's putting on a quick soup or like at least boil some water to get you guys ready. And as you and Alan are pitching your tents, you start to see both of you, with your, decent perception. Teacup take the wand out of their bag, and they hold it up, and they tap it to the ground. 1, 2, 3 taps, and you see this little dome start to form. And Teacup steps in it and shakes out their bedroll.
Whoa. What is that?
It's my safe space. Look, try and get inside.
Oh, yeah, you were mentioning this in the cart. And Chastity's
Yeah.
gonna go over and try and, knock on the dome or, swing the door.
So it is a completely solid dome, no doorway, and you knock on it and it's hard. And then Teacup says, "Now push your hand through it."
Chastity puts her hand completely, palm out around the dome and just sort of gently starts to push down.
And you press through it.
And she gets a little freaked out by that and she whips her hand back.
Oh, it's okay. It's because I let you in.
Oh. And what happens if you don't?
Then you can't pass through it.
Oh, well, that's easy. Is the dome big enough for, a normal sized person to actually be inside of it, or is it very teeny?
It seems like it could fit a full-grown person. This kind of spell could expand to include other people. It looks like Teacup used it just to make it big enough for them at the moment.
Okay. Can Chastity try and get into the dome but crouch down when she's in there just to talk to Teacup?
Absolutely. So you do crouch down, and as you crawl in, it gets bigger to accommodate you.
Oh. Does it get bigger on the outside too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Alan, you would actually see Chastity crawl in, and the dome gets bigger on the exterior. If you would like to join.
Well, first he walks up to it and he slowly puts his hand out and he touches it.
So you
Mhm.
feel that it's solid, and then all of a sudden your fingers start to sink into it.
And then the fingers sink through. He stops and pulls back for a sec, and then he leans his face in and he starts to put his face to it and see if he can peer through.
Yeah, so you peek through, and the way Teacup has it right now is it's not solid, it's not opaque. Currently, at this moment, it is transparent, so you can see the two of them. So you put your face and your face just goes through, and Teacup just looks at you and goes, "You're silly."
And then he'll like once his face is through, he like slowly steps one foot in and then the other.
And then the dome gets bigger to accommodate the three of you. And Teacup says, "And I can change the color, and I can make it so like people can't see in, but we could see out."
Oh,
And you
Teacup,
can
this is really cool.
you can choose who comes in here.
Yeah. My master gave me this to keep me safe on my travels.
Is there anything else that your wand can do besides make this?
This wand, no. This wand can only do this spell. My master doesn't want to give me too many things because I might cause mischief.
How big can this thing get? Does it have like a maximum occupancy?
My master said it could fit up to 5 medium folks.
Well, that might come in handy.
Seems very useful for someone who's out and about a lot.
Yes, very. Oh, I have this wand. And he pulls out a wand that is very silly looking. It's like it's painted all these bright colors.
Oh, what's that one do?
Oh, you want to see what this one does? So this wand, here's what happens. Hold on. I need to read the effect.
Oh god.
Like how Teacup like suddenly started having little old lady voice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can
This-
you roll a charisma saving throw?
This one kills all creatures in a
Me-
20-foot radius.
Who, me or Chastity?
Both of you.
Oh, both of us. Charisma
Thank
saving
God.
throw?
For charisma.
12.
Okay.
25.
It seems like you guys aren't affected by the wand. And Teacup just goes, "Oh, it didn't work.
Oh, well, Teacup, what was it supposed to do?
It's supposed to make you smile."
Are you sure that's what it was supposed to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
His ear droop.
Well, maybe we can use that on Damien sometime, but why don't you put it away for right now?
Okay. And he puts it away. I
It
made that
makes
one
me-
myself.
Oh. Well, it was
Makes
very
me-
nice looking.
Zorky.
Okay. Okay, so Damien, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it makes me think of the doing that to Damien makes me think of the one scene in Baldur's Gate 3 with like Asterion in the clown makeup.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, good! What fun! I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah. So, just because I feel like hunting is probably going to take up quite a bit of time, how is everybody feeling about ending the session here this evening?
I'm okay with that.
Who said Damien was going hunting?
Oh,
Okay,
Oh.
yeah. Do we need to check in the woods briefly?
No. You just hear like a roar, a growl.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh god.
that was totally the intention. He was not actually focused on that at all.
So, just to wrap it up here for the evening, let's go around the room, starting with Damien because we're doing our circle rule.
Mhm.
What is one thing you really liked about this session, and one thing you're looking forward to the next one?
I think this was a chance that we started to get a little more serious with each other's characters. A lot of things circling Alan, which was kind of funny. Getting to look at things are kind of wrong. Damien's starting to shift in his perspective, where he isn't fully convinced it's a dream anymore. He's probably still going to be kind of a shit about things, but that's just how he is. But yeah, I think this is a nice opportunity, relaxed role play, just to kind of delve into these guys a little more, see how they interact with each other. Yeah, that's what I enjoyed.
Okay. Alan?
Hey, Alan,
Hey, Alan.
Hey, Alan.
if you could just keep an eye out for anything
Oh my god.
shady or this
Yeah.
and that and the other thing. Okay, that was definitely a highlight just because I thought it was funny.
That was funny. That
It
was
was
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. I feel like this is gonna share with everyone else here in terms of like what was nice about this session. Just like because it was very role play heavy. But it was nice. I did like that, we're kind of interacting more and we're getting more of a solidified dynamic between everybody, which is really funny to see. Chastity being the group mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm just enjoying the interactions. It's getting a little bits and pieces about world lore, which was also nice. And secrets. Lots of secrets.
Secrets.
Especially
Yeah.
for Alan.
I did like sharing the little thing with Alan of like what happened in the real world between the two of them. That was fun.
Yeah, you guys got some insight between how Damien and Alan kind of knew each other.
I literally love it. Chastity.
Mhm.
What is one thing you loved about this session, and what is one thing you're looking forward to?
Well, I liked that the conversation started to feel like very natural. And I think that we just had a much easier time like role playing and being in character, and that was really fun. Um,
Yay.
and I have more like two things that I'm really looking forward to. So first, more so is just like looking forward to doing more actions that like move the story
Mm.
forward. So like as we get
Mhm.
into these bigger cities, as we're meeting more of these people, like actually having like things we have to figure out. And then speaking of secrets and backstory, looking forward to the eventual Chastity and Christian confrontation.
Yes, I can't wait to like hit Kevin up with like the solo stuff of what happened behind the scenes today
Mhm.
and like see how he is going to use that going forward. Oh my god. I'm excited. Sybil,
Yay.
one thing that you enjoyed the session and one thing you're looking forward to.
I really liked the odd jobs aspect that we might have to do,
Oh yay.
like the cockatrices. The cockatrices.
We're broke. We need money.
We're so broke.
Yeah, like it's because it's just kind of us finding our way and like interacting, and I like that.
Yeah, I was really hoping that you guys would. I know it was like something a little small, but I kind of like the idea of having these like kind of like mini quests.
Mhm.
I definitely imagined it being a little like it was actually more interactive. I'm kind of glad. I was a little worried. I imagine it being more interactive than that. So I definitely plan for these next upcoming odd jobs to be uh a little more interesting than let's milk the cockatrices of venom
And get its eggs.
and get its eggs.
Yeah,
Alright. No, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say like what I'm looking forward to is Alan keeping more secrets going forward.
Yes.
Also, the excuses Kristen's gonna have to make come back
Oh my
because he just ran
god.
away from he ran away from us. Well, we know.
Where the hell
True.
were you?
Oh man, I
I'm looking
didn't do
forward
what
to how he returns.
I didn't do
Hopefully in
what
the next session.
look forward to. I look forward to Damien getting worse. That's what I look forward to.
Same with Sybil, but her going crazier with that voice in her head.
Hopefully, you know what? This is actually kind of it's funny because Damien and Chastity, through both of them being like, "Hey, can you like keep an eye out for weird shit or things with this person?" It is leading into the kind of character that Alan is going to become once level 3 hits, and playing into the subclass playstyle. Rooting out secrets, being very perceptive of everything.
Speaking of, I'm gonna wait for us to all actually do that at the top of our next session. But the top of next session, you guys will be level 2.
Yay! Let's go.
So level 2 at the top of next session, we'll have you guys roll and get ready for that level up. Give Kevin an update too, and then we'll go from there.
I'm excited.
I hope everybody has a good night, has a good weekend, and we'll be seeing you guys next week for Blades.
With everyone present.
With
Ideally.
everyone. Stop! I love. Sorry, I know this is on stream and this is stuff that's happening behind the scenes, but the Chopper meets Teacup is my literal favorite.
Oh my god.
So anyway,
POV, you
sorry
were
about that.
told that the lion dreams of eating you.
Oh my god. So good night, everybody. We'll see you next week for Blades. I hope you all have a good weekend and a good week. And I don't have a catchphrase for the end of the session yet.
Until
so
next
good
time.
night.
Stay
Until next
mindful and
time.
demure. Good night.
Be
See
mindful
ya.
and demure. Good night.
Good night, San Diego.
Bye-bye.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Stay classy,
Stay
San
classy,
Diego.
everybody.